streaming at 2,670 kilobits per second. Hello. Happy Halloween. Stream number 43. As the kids all gorge candy in the other room, I am going to be doing some polishing up of the parsing grammar that I was working on. Because I'm a nerd and I don't have a costume this year, and bah humbug? Anyway. I think I was working on this. Consider allowing locals marked in some way to be saved as parts of a component. I might have made a local test, right? Yeah, which this marker, which I don't quite like yet. I also want to make sure about something. Like what happens when preserved local reassigned. Like if we go and we copy it to 69, it should get 69 and it should still have a value because it's no longer, it's actually a preserved local, but I actually don't know if this is going to work. It does work. Is it only when it's created? Do you reference? Actually, it's probably just faster to go to reference. So we create a local if the entry is vacant. Okay, so if the entry is occupied, we don't bother to change the local flag, right? Right, and the only thing that would stop us from assigning it is if it actually had bits. So actually that means that if we did parse it as bits, see test preserved local replaced by part then reassigned. So if we had like a UI X8, I think I'd still expect 69. Well, actually, I don't know. We might get an error for this, right? Maybe a assert foo error. Aha. Yeah, so it gets these bits and then we're not allowed to reassign it because it gets an origin. Right, X has an origin. It's an error on this line. Okay. How else do I want to test this? I guess it's fine as it is. Although I want to change the syntax. I don't like the plus there. Here it is. So it wouldn't let me put it on the left, right? Ugh. So if I do that, I have to redirect standard error to standard out. When looking at token break, we can reduce to a plus, but can also shift. Okay, here's a more concrete example. If we've observed span statements, at this point, if the next token is an ID, then the parser can proceed in two different ways. First, parser could execute the production on line 141, which would consume top 0 tokens reduce an op plus. This might then yield a parse tree like a simple or a simple assignment and a assign. Alternatively, the parser could shift the ID token and later use it to construct a ref part. This might then yield a parse tree like this. Okay. So it doesn't yet know if it shifts an op plus, then it's going to have to accept it as an assignment, right? Okay, I have an idea what to do. Oh. I think I'm just going to invent a new token. And I'm going to invent a new token in order to make an alternate assign. So it's going to be preserve assign. So this will be false, and this will be true. Preserve assign. Well, really that's colon assign. Okay, so we need a new token. Hey there, Poffin. What exactly is the DataDisintegrator project? I'm glad you asked. So it's like a programmable decoder. So using a domain-specific language, which is what I'm working on here in the grammar, you can describe a data format, and you can use the tool to parse anything that matches that format. So here's a format I've been playing around with, right? GIF image file. It has a header at the front, trailer at the end, has data blocks in the middle. So like an example file would be like here, GIF 89A, right? Let's see if I can run this. Yes. So the tool basically does an in-order traversal of this, just like it's a function, and matches it up with bytes so it can figure out, oh yeah, that's the signature, that's the version, because it goes into header first, gets the signature and the version out, it does some ifs to make sure that it matches the what's expected, and it gets through the entire input file. If it gets to the end of the format in the end of the data simultaneously, then it matches the format. Otherwise, ran out of bits or we have too many bits. Thank you. I didn't even have to trick or treat to get that. So that's essentially what the DataDisintegrator is. So I can describe any format and parse the files using that format. Yeah. So it's composed of a compiler, right? Because we got to turn our program into an abstract syntax tree and then an ingestion library. So tonight I'm kind of tweaking the parser because I wanted to have like an alternate syntax for a type of local variable. So yeah, right. We had this assign where we could assign values, expressions evaluated to basically an L value reference, so like a local variable. And I wanted to make that not preserve the value, so it's local. But I think colon assignment will allow it to preserve it. The difference is whether or not the variable, like here, this is another type of local variable, I'll call it look ahead. Next won't appear in the GIF because it's only used to like peek to see if we should break out of the loop or not. But if I declared it like next assign 0 like that, then it would add next to GIF as a as a value inside the composite GIF, but with a placeholder of 0, which is, it would be nice if, well, I guess I could have reintroduced it as local. Well, whatever. Now it will appear in the GIF because I'm adding this new kind of syntax here. Now that I look at it, actually, that's sort of an awful way to do it. I kind of want an alternate syntax here, wouldn't I? So really what I prefer is like, if either it's like next equals 0, or if I declare it in a parse statement, I want it to be the same. So like, what if I use hat in front or something like that? Like that. What if that little marker meant we're going to keep it around? I don't like that though. Yeah, like a struct member. So a GIF will end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 members: header, logical screen, data, and trailer. You can kind of see if I show you, like, we go all the way to the end. So like GIF has got a trailer. It's got 61 data blocks in it. Yeah, someone's at the door. Trick or treaters. It's got a GIF, a header, and a logical screen, right? But it's got no next in it. The pattern's not found, right? Because it's a local variable. It's only used for the purpose of determining whether it's a data block or trailer, right? But if I wanted, let's say I wanted to keep the next around it and I wanted to see that it wasn't 3B each loop, then I'd have to like mark this up somehow to say, I actually want to save the value next. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. If it's an assignment, like what I was thinking is, if it was an assignment like this, it's local, but maybe if I did a colon equals, it would save it as a struct member, but then it doesn't really work with like this alternate form. It doesn't, I can't put I already have a colon there, and that means something else. That means that it's bounded by 8 bits. So now I'm kind of second guessing what I was doing here. I could just build it into reference somehow. I think either way we're gonna delete this. I'm not gonna do this. You're not gonna do it this way. While it builds, let me think about it. Well, I had explicit local before, and I removed it because I thought that it was sort of redundant. So I used to have to do this to declare it as a local. But, and you know, an alternate syntax might be like I don't know, what's a non-local, but not a global member? I don't know, something like that. But then like I removed that because I kind of like the shorter syntax of just saying that because this is a look ahead, that is just implicitly local. Var, yeah, maybe that's one way to do it. So let's hold that in the reserve. I'm just hoping that if I could build it into ref, that would be the best. Like, what if a ref had to start like, what if I put another rule in front of reference where it could start with an extra token or something? I don't like it though. Maybe var is the way to go. Or maybe I just punt on this and don't do it. Or, you know, another alternate way would be like, we can call it save or something. You could say like, save next. I don't know. I don't like that either. Very indecisive about this. So that where is that preserve found now? Because I kind of added it. I added it to assignment is what I did. Yeah, locals are preserved by removing the fact that they're local. How about keep? What if we had like keep next? And we could do that at any point in the format. In fact, we could have it be where like it's conditional. I like that actually. The only side effect of this would be when we create it, when it knows it's when it's in a local context like this, keep will keep it around, but it won't be impacted by any loops. I think I'm okay with that because let's say I wanted to remember what the value of next was in every loop. I'd instead have something like uh, keep loops or something. I don't know. And I make an extra array and I'd say keep next loops. And then I'd say keep loops. You know, there's no way for me to access that loop variable, is it? I guess I'd have to do something like a for I equals 0 true plus plus I equals keep next. Actually, then this is really next. In fact, I wrote it right there. Why didn't I write the same thing up there? It had to be something like this where we declare an empty vector, keep it, and then make a copy of it with the loop variable. I guess that's what I'll do. That keeps it simple. So it's kind of like the opposite of what I had before. I had like the local variable declaration. Now it's the reverse. But it also means that this preserve is no longer part of a sign statement. It means that I actually have a new kind of statement called a keep statement. Okay, so we're removing all of these. I'm not sure if you understand terminology. Maybe you'll follow keep. Seems like imperative instruction. The rest of the language is declarative. Well, there are some imperative kinds of statements like loop, if next, like a for loop, error. Most of it is declarative. Return statements also, like near the bottom, there'll be return statements or return. So those are imperative. But you're right, most of it's declarative. So it's very rare that I'm going to want to keep a local. So I'm okay with it being like a special kind of imperative statement, you know? So that code will return. It'll return. So we'll just call this a keep local. Rewrite this. So it's x equals 42 keep x. Kept. Kept Okay. So this one doesn't matter anymore. We're going to delete it. All right, and then that should build, right? Only the tests are going to fail because we don't like. Okay, why can I not? Why is the VS Code frozen? That was weird. It like locked up. Okay. Maybe because that file was open? Anyway, we need to add it as a token, right? Keep. These are all out of order, aren't they? Huh. Symbols. Reserved words. Wonder if I should go through here and sort them. So that's the abstract interface between lexer and parser. Here's the concrete lexer. So I need to have like a mapping from concrete to abstract. Keep. Declare it up here. Okay, and then that should build again. Oh no, we're gonna have some errors from that, right? Actually, we might not. Only if I have a match on token, which I don't think I have any. Yep. So let's go into the grammar. Let's make our new statement. Keep ref, right? You know the way I think about it, we could do it before it exists and it should create it, right? Okay, so we don't have a statement keep. Also, keep doesn't have a mapping in the parser, so we need to add that. This is sorted, so I kind of want to keep it sorted. Okay, so statement. There is no keep statement yet. In the abstract syntax tree. Keep reference. Actually, you know what? It should be a very specific reference. It should be an ID. So let's make it even simpler. It's just string. There's no reference. It's just a single string. Because then that makes it a lot easier to parse and I won't accidentally try to keep a non like an x dot y or an x index something, which wouldn't make sense. Oh, I still have local in here? Forgot to get rid of it. Actually, I guess local was an identifier before. Oh yeah, it was a string. Huh. Let's delete it. It doesn't, we shouldn't have it. I don't think there was any way to construct it before. Oh, we actually had the code to execute it. Maybe I can reuse that. In fact, why don't I just turn it into keep? And I'll just rename it. There we go. So execute keep statement. So yeah, I mean, this will work. We just don't. Wait. It's gonna actually put it into it's gonna put it into iteration. It's gonna put if it's gonna add iterations to it, which I don't want. I forgot that that was there. Does that actually would that actually have done the wrong thing there? Hold on. I think I actually would have. So a good thing that I found this. Add parse not the right way to do this. Actually, we do want to do this collision check. It's just we don't want it to do this. Well, I could just copy this stuff. This some of this stuff. Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do. We're not gonna insert locals, right? It's just this. We get the entry for the key child and delete that. If it's occupied, and has an origin, then it's a collision. Actually, it might have already been made a local, right? So, yeah. And we don't need to do this, do we? I could just have this like return a mutable reference that we assign. No, I have to do assign, don't I? Yeah, okay. New formatted without, no, unformatted, new and formatted, right? I have a feeling that this is just wrong, though. Like, we only want to do that. I don't think we want to do that at all. Yeah, hold on. I think I only want to do this if it doesn't exist. And if it doesn't, if it does exist, we want to remove it from locals. I think this is what I want. But hey, that's what tests are for, right? Wait, what? Oh, I already renamed it. Let's run the test. We'll build and then run the test. Oh. Yeah, I had started the grammar by calling it a reference, right? It's actually an ID. No definition for ID. What is it? Oh, it's in quotes because it's a terminal symbol. Lollipop. Waiting for file lock. One of those downsides about Rust, the compilers are a little bit slower. It does more work for you. So you do less work later, less testing. It just works, right? Compile, you can do it. Make the cursor big so you can compile faster. Wow, we passed everything? First try? Whoa. Whoa. Dude. Nice. Okay, we're done. Mark that as done. Where did I put that? Oh, right here. Duh. And then I had like an opposite thing that I wanted to do, right? For arguments to not save them. Oh, I already added that, didn't I? That was for arguments. We had the ability to mark a local argument by putting a minus in front of it. It's in function? Yeah. Didn't I put it here? I guess it didn't. Where did we test local argument? Huh. How would I find if I wrote a test for this? I guess I would just break it and see what test broke, right? So I'd go to like, I should go to the AST for a part. I guess it would be part. Statement? Maybe I didn't do this yet. No, I thought I did. Parse statement. Args. Oh, it wasn't an args, it's a format. That's right. So it's probably in format tests. Yeah, argument has a local, right? Just see where this is referenced. Yeah, okay, so it is op arguments. Well, that's one of the hits. Format is the other. Yeah, it's oh, that's not it either. That's also a false. Is it here? Ah, yeah. So minus in front. So I guess I didn't have any ingestion tests. No, yeah, I don't have any ingestion tests for this. I should make one though. I could have sworn I made an ingestion test for this. there's no ingestion test for this because it doesn't show up in the AST. That's the input. So we don't test the input, we test the output. Okay, so then maybe it was in format. Hold on. Format tests? Yeah, here it is. Format local argument. So it's if you put a minus in front, you won't be able to find it. So it's the inverse of a keep. It's if that's how a part works anyway. If you put a minus in front of a parse statement, it doesn't keep it. Okay, then I'm happy. I think we're done. I think I'm done fooling around with the grammar now. So maybe it's on to the next adventure. So I didn't write this down before, but I had 2 more steps, and I had actually done some of this in the C++ code. I was wrong about this when I was just talking before about it. I do have a library called script host. And we don't have anything yet in the Rust, and the purpose of this was to it was to host a Lua interpreter with access to the ingestion library. Well, actually, it's the parser and ingestion libraries, right? Or was it just the ingestion library? I'll have to look. Let's just assume right now it's just the ingestion library. Host Lua interpreter with access to the ingestion library in order to automate parsing tasks. Okay, and then in addition to this, I had GUI layers. So I had WPF GUI, and I had Cocoa GUI, and a C# wrapper. And those were for creating a GUI around that used the ingestion library along with the script host. But let's not get that far ahead. First, I need to think of a name for that, and I gotta look and see what its capabilities are. Don't quite remember what the script host could do. I guess this was itself a library. Yeah, it was a static link library. So I think the point of this was you'd link it into a GUI, and it pulled in Lua, and there was a way to like construct, I think there was a way to construct an interpreter. Was it here? Yeah, you'd make a script host, I think. Make a script host, and then there was a way to like, yeah, you could load a script into it. That's a Lua script. And it would execute the Lua script with the host global Lua variable set to the host meta table, allowing additional methods to be attached to it. Execute a Lua script. How's that different from load script? I don't remember. Set user. So there's a user interface as well as a host. Start analysis on a given bitstream. Why do I have 2 start analysis functions? Oh, one's for a network connection? Huh, I forgot that I did that. I could analyze packets or bytes from a network connection. Stop analysis on outline row selection changed. That's very specific to the GUI. Why do I have that here? I don't think we're gonna port this because this is not where it should go. I don't know why I have this here. Hex editor byte selected. This should be in the script and stuff like that, right? Main thread task queue? Huh. Thinks I'm dragging when I'm not. I'll have to remember how I embed Lua into Rust. It was like with mLua, I think I used at the time. Lua reader. Yeah, I don't remember how to do this. This is how we did it in C++. So you have a Lua state. There's an interface back to the user. Okay. You're like, I don't think I need to do all this stuff. But it depends like how I guess this thing has the interpreter in it. But really for a good separation of concerns, I should just have a library that like can given a Lua interpreter, like maybe it would borrow a Lua interpreter and it would just create a meta table to add a type representing the ingestion library, really. Okay, so there's going to be very little. The only thing that this will resemble in the C++ is that we're basically is an interface between the ingestion library and the Lua interpreter. Something else will have to host the interpreter, which is the whole point, right? This is like adding a plugin to Lua, and Lua is hosted elsewhere. So that means to test this, I'll want to have like a Lua interpreter. So there is no mapping to this. It'll be, I don't have a name for it yet, but so this will actually host the Lua interp like run Lua interpreter on interactive mode or on an input program. Let's say both. On input or interactive mode. Using blank to support ingesting a binary data and accessing data components. Okay, so I need names. So okay, this isn't hosting the interpreter. This is like purpose used to attach ingestion library types to a Lua interpreter. Should probably fit this on one line, right? There we go. So, name. Need to think of a name. Like Lua bridge or something? Script bridge? Script. We can just call it the bridge. Call it bridge. And we'll call this one, well, like, the outermost would be Lua. How about, like, it's like a decorated Lua interpreter. Lua plus DataDisintegrator stuff. Lua plus? Why not? We can have Lua, and then we have Lua plus. The making Lua plus is probably a good first goal because that's just really just getting reacquainted with how to embed Lua interpreter into a Rust program and have it like run it in interactive mode or on an input file, right? Oh, another thing I wanted to do, move bitstream file from ingest to ingestion. Right now it's in the ingest program right here. And I really wanted to move into the ingestion library along with bitstreams, buffered bitstream. There's buffered bitstream. We should have like bitstream file. There's some loud, sugar high teenagers in the other room, by the way. Now they're chanting, and I don't know why. Should I be scared? I think they're acting out Monty Python movies right now. All right. Let's go ahead and make it Lua, not a document level. What wet from here. Can I just call it Lua plus?
We're like really loud, so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm interrupting anything.
No problem. They have apologized for being loud. They're talking about the stream now. Am I gonna get stream sniped? Hi there, Vincent. How are you doing? Happy Halloween. I actually have the Lua interpreter here, but I don't think we're gonna use this one. We want M Lua, right? If I remember right, it's M Lua that I want. M Lua, unless there's a better interpreter for. What if we just type in Lua? Oop, not Jua. Yeah, I meant Lua. Is M Lua still the premier way to embed Lua in Rust? And Roblox Luau. We are the knights who say. Is there a competing? Oh, I kind of remember there being R Lua. I remember this. Lossless Lua parser? What's this? ST. Huh. Okay. Running native Lua modules in Rust. Started as R Lua fork, okay. I remember playing with the Lua JIT before. So we have to enable a feature. Find Lua libraries. What if I wanted to package it with it? Oh. Standalone mLua allows to add to your application scripting source that gently configure Lua runtime. Vendored. Okay. Module mode? What's module mode? Create a compiled Lua module can be loaded from Lua code using require. It's external Lua runtime, which can lead to potential unsafety to unpredictable Lua environment.
Where's the HDMI cable that plugs into the switch?
Don't know. Actually, I do know. Hold on a sec. Is it plugged into the DVD player?
What the? Whoa! Whoa! What the? What? Why is it?
Plug the DVD and plug the Blu-ray. Sugar high teenagers watching movies, looking for HDMI cables. All right. Is this what I want? Module mode? So I'd be creating a Lua module. So then I wouldn't need to actually make a Lua Plus at all, would I? I wouldn't actually need this. So just make the bridge, and that would be something that we could require from Lua. Okay, I like that idea. So how does this work? It's a compiled Lua module can load it from Lua code using require. I don't really mind about the unsafety issue. C dylib. Okay, so here's a function that can be called from Lua, right? Okay, we export a Lua table, and we export something. Oh, okay. Then you just run Lua and you do some require on your module. So your module will have to it looks for .so. Weird. Okay. Good thing we're not on Mac OS. Linux, you can build modules normally with the cargo build release. Okay. Okay, we're on 0.91. Bridge. Because I'm lazy. We're just moving a cargo toml in here. So we're going to want AST. I don't think we need log. probably don't need span. Actually, we do need span in order to report parsing errors, right? I forget what's in utilities. Right joined. Okay, we don't need that until we need it. Dev dependency. Actually, don't we need this as a dependency? Yeah, we need the lexer, we need the parser, and we need the ingestion library. Okay. Maplet we don't need once cell or simple logger. Why is it? Where are these check marks coming from? I don't know. And this is named bridge. And we're gonna need mlua. And they've recommended I'm just gonna copy it. And I have to build a C dilib. I never actually made one of these before. Hold on a sec. Are you scaring my kitty? Scaring my kitty. These darn teenagers scaring my kitty. Hey there, Extremely Ryan. Hey, we're moving on to bigger and better things. Because I got my ingestion library done. It parses GIF files. Now we're moving on to attaching it to a Lua interpreter so I can script it and then put it into bigger things like GUIs. Actually, if it's just loaded as a Lua module, then like I could use it in anything that can load Lua, right? The dependency injection, right? Okay, so we need the source directory, right? And in there we need a lib.rs. And let me replicate their example. Okay. And we need to add this to our workspace. Bridge. Oh, look at that. There was I saw those eyeballs. Okay, it's pulling in a lot of interesting stuff now, right? Cargo build. And then can we actually run Lua? Or do I have to build Lua myself? Looks like I do have to have Lua. Do I actually have... Can I install... Oh, there's a Lua? Lua not found. Because Lua is a directory. I could probably install it, right? Sudo apt install Lua. So I get to pick which one I want. I want Lua 5.4. And we have it. So it's literally just typing Lua 5.4. Okay. What's it? Control D to end? Or is it Control Z? That's backgrounding it. Control D. Okay. What? Hit something on that Z shell supports, I guess. Okay. So let me make a script that we're going to play around with, and I guess we'll put it in the stage. Okay, I want to put it in the stage, please. So click that file, click new. Okay. Test.lua, I guess. Paste. So my module is going to be bridge. Hello world. Okay. Now I have to put the SO somewhere, right? Okay, so guessing that I'll find it, right? If I look under target debug bridge. No. Okay, it's libbridge.so. So if I made a link to it, right, in stage, del ln dash s dot slash target slash debug slash bridge slash libbridge dot so to libbridge dot so, and then I do lua 5 for test.lua, right? Bridge not found. Okay, it's not looking for libbridge.so, it's looking for bridge.so. So can I just change this to say libbridge? Couldn't find it. Oh, the link is wrong. Didn't actually put it there. It put them all under target debug. Okay, so I forget. Can I update a link just by doing ln again, or do I have to remove it? I have to remove it. Unless there's a way to override a link, right? Replace. Exist. I don't know. Okay. Error loading libbridge. Undefined symbol lua open libbridge. Oh, so the name has to be consistent. Okay, so then remove the link again. And link it as bridge.so. It can't. Oh, because I have it wrong in here. It's bridge again. Okay. One more time. Undefined symbol. Lua open bridge. I thought I did it right. It does say I have to build it with release. So cargo build release. So I'll have to change the link again to the release build, right? Building the release build takes a long time because the parser is slow to build, especially in release mode. Parser up, up. Done with the parser now. Okay, done. Okay, remove the link. Then ln the link, only its release. Then Lua, that. Still can't find it. What symbols do we have? I forgot how to do this. Is LOD? LDD? B? Okay, I forget how do we get C imports. Linux list shared library exports. NM-D. Okay, what did it complain that it couldn't find? It can't find Lua open bridge. Open. Lua open my module. Why is it my module? Lua open my module. Does that have to do with what I have in the cargo? Bridge. I didn't have to say it there, but I wonder if it's here and I just didn't see it. Great. Oh, is it this one? My module? So, bridge. Right? So I wonder if that means I can do a cargo build. I didn't need to do a release build. There we go. Fixed it. Can I name it lib bridge? No, it's looking for bridge.so. So it's Okay, they do say to map it like with and remove the lib part. Okay, you know, I'm okay with that. So remove the link again. Link it again. Because I did the wrong one. Like that. Cool. All right. So that's sweet. So then next step would be to try to make a, we want to make a meta table, right? To have a type. I forget how to do this. I might have to review my Lua knowledge. But I want to make a Lua type for every type in the ingestion library. So actually, it's not just the ingestion library, right? Also the parsing library. Everything the ingest library does, right? So I actually need I need the lexer as well. Actually, why don't I just combine the parser and the lexer? So what we'll do is we'll have a Lua function. Yeah, we'll just make a global Lua function that creates a lexer, creates a parser, and just uses the parser to parse with the lexer off of a format file. So there'll be a format file in. Actually, now that I think about this, we want to have multiple format files, right? And parse returns a hash map, right? So don't I want to be able to like combine the formats from multiple runs? Yeah. So actually, I think I need to update the this is the API for the parser, right? Oh, I can delete that now. I think what I should do is actually store the hash map in here. And you should be able to like borrow the formats back out, because when we parse, it borrows the formats. Yeah. Okay. Then I think I know what I want to change here. And I want to change the parser's API. So I want this to actually have the hash map in it. So formats. Hash map string format. I'm surprised I didn't. Oh, we already had that. Okay, never mind. Formats is hash map new. And then I want to have like a pub formats self, which returns the hash map string format. Now that I'm thinking about it, should I have like a type def for that? Okay, and so I want parse to actually be mutable. It's not a const function anymore, is it? So instead of actually I wonder how expensive this new is. Well, we're at line 85,000. I think there's too many lines for this to tell me. I'm gonna guess it's inexpensive, so that we could always create a new parser at any time and consume the lexer and map the error. But what we want to do with this is actually not return the hash map, but just return an error. And let's have a new error called format collision. And let's have it include which formats. So that would be hash set string. Because I'm thinking like, and I should make a test for this. If you should be able to like parse multiple format files, but if there's a collision in format, we kind of want to know that, right? Or do we just allow it to be overwritten? Why don't we just allow it to be overwritten? So there's no error. So let's take that back then. It's not an error, it just overwrites. Delete. Yeah, so what we want to do is just say for name format in question mark dot into iter. Actually, I guess, do we have to say into iter? Self dot formats dot insert name format. Or can we just do a merge? Type annotations needed. Oh, it needs me to say that it's into an error. Can I? Yeah. Actually, do I even need that then? Can I just do this? Yeah. Easier. Why did I have the into anyway? It is a more concise loop over containers instead of using explicit. So it's saying I don't need to do the into iter. Okay, I'm just wondering, do I need to iterate at all, or is there a way to combine? Can I say self formats dot combine with or union? Capacity clear, drain, entry, extend. Ah, is that what we want to do? Do I want to extend it with this then? It's thinking. Yes, that works. Could be a const. Sure. Do have an error though. Mismatched types. Yeah, back at the parsers API test level. So yeah, test API. This should be like parse the input. Let parser equal parser. So this is mutable. Parse input and parser dot formats. Unwrap, right? What did I have before? I had unwrap before? No, there is a result there. Oh, yeah. This has to do a question mark. And then this would be, well, hold on. I need to map it then, right? So this dot map because this parse gives me a unit, right? Parser formats. And that is what we were asserting. Ah, close. Yeah, we are borrowing it, aren't we? So I'm gonna have to change much of this, right? Unless I guess I have to borrow there? Sure. Borrowing everywhere? Or can I dereference? Can I dereference this actually? Can I say map to that dot map to that. It's gonna say you can't move out, right? So instead I would do a borrow of that. Or no, I have to do it as ref, right? I thought that would be equivalent. It's very close, only we would borrow the error. How do we just borrow the OK value? Is there a way to do that? Would it be a would it be a map? I don't know what to call it. Output dot as ref. Not as ref. We just want to borrow. Really? Can't borrow? Okay, then I can as ref it and then map the error to E star E. Right? Only it won't let me copy it out. E.clone. Can I clone the errors? Oh, it expects a reference? Okay, then I could put it on the wrong one then. Well, I don't know what to do here. It wants a reference on both the OK value and the error, but it's only a reference on the OK value, not the error. If I take that off, excuse me. Then it's getting a reference from the, well, you know, what if I just have another thing called like into formats? And then that is going to just consume self. I don't know if it can be const because I'm not into this. So let's say into formats. And that consumes self and just returns the hash map straight. Into formats. No, they should be equal, right? Okay, cool. So this is the wrapper, right? So for this one, new took, but formats is the wrong thing, right? Yeah. So we do new and then parse it, and then formats equals borrow the formats, right? I guess this one could be into. Okay. Cool. All right. 3 errors left. So this is the ingestion test. So if this is returning this, then it's yeah. It basically I changed the API of this, right? So that needs to be unwrapped, and then we do parser.into formats. Okay. Moot. Parser into formats. "38 warnings. Why is it warning about this file? I don't know. Told it not to warn me about that file. Man, it's loud in the other room. Okay. Getting tired, and I want to get up tomorrow morning and do more of this before work, so let's try to find a stopping point. So, okay, now that I got the parser into a good state, it's API, right? I wanted to try to make a Lua mapping for this. So I don't want the into formats, but I think what I want is that the parser, we should be able to make one of it, and we should be able to tell it to we should be able to give it a file. Give it a file? Well, actually give it, this is to parser input iterator. I'm making something more like this, right? Right, I wanted to like, the Lexer is going to be temporary, and so is the, oh, what was it? Man, it's so loud in the other room, it's so distracting. We want to hold on to the parser. The whole point of this was that we could call parse multiple times, so there needs to be a Lua function to parse, and instead of parsing the input, the Lexer will parse an input, which is a string. So we pass a string from Lua into the parser and tell it to parse this, and it would tell us whether there's an error or not. And if there's no error, then we should be able to like enumerate the formats, at least the names of the formats, right? Yeah. So okay, so there's so we give a table, and I can put anything I want in that table, right? And those are our exports. So what can we export? Can I export a meta table? Okay, because I think the way I did this for the scripting host, right, was I think I just made meta tables. Script host. Hold on a second. Did you clean it up?
Did I?
Did you clean up the spilled water?
Oh.
Please do it. We gotta lay down the law. Teenagers spill stuff, they gotta clean it up. So we end up setting a global, right? So can I put a global in that table, or actually that table, can it be a meta table? Can I set a meta table on the table that we return? This is the Lua test, right? Where'd I put it? Stage, right? Test.lua. So when you, okay, what you get out of require bridge is a table, and it's the table of the exports. I guess I should just look up how Lua modules work. Reference manual. Close enough, right? Require, right? Require. All right, require mod loads a given module. Module starts by looking into the package loaded table, determine whether the module, if it is, it returns the value stored at the package loaded mod name. Find loader, does that. Once it's loaded, require calls the loader to arguments. Okay, this doesn't really, I think I skipped the crucial part. In a table package. Returns the value stored at package loaded. Okay. Loader calls lower two arguments. The mod. So is that what we're seeing in our let's pin that bridge in our lib.rs of bridge, right? It just gets an interpreter, and we're just expected to return a table. That's not what we're seeing. We're not seeing these two arguments. Or returns any non-nil value require assigns the loaded value to package loaded. So it's whatever we want the package to return. So if it's a table, so it could just be the object whose meta table has the methods I want, right? So what I used to do this is I'd return I'd assign a global variable, and that global variable had a meta table, so you can call methods on it. So instead now, if it's coming as a module, then the module is going to just return the thing that's going to have a meta table. So I just want a meta table. That's what I want. So if we create a table and then we attach a meta table to it. So the way I used to do this was here. So we do Lua L. So can we call that Lua L create meta table? How do you create a meta table? Not a table with capacity. I want to create a meta table. Well, I guess we have to go to the manual. API reference. Just search for meta. Meta. Oh, okay. So we just make another table and set it as the meta table of our module. So yeah, since I'm going through that mlua, it's like an extra level of abstraction. I used to be calling Lua directly, and we would. I guess that was a shorthand for something, right? Yeah, this is shorthand for create a table, push a string, set the name property of the table. And I forget why we did that. And then it stored it in the registry. I wonder if I have to worry about that. Let's look at the source. Yeah, see, it's just calling a set meta table. So, like, if I wanted to call those other things, I'd have to do it myself, right? I'd have to do all of these calls myself, including set field Lua registry index, which is a magic index. So is there a way to do the registry here? Create registry value? Well, really it's set field registry index. Okay, place a value. That's with an auto-generated key, but into Lua. It's set field the registry index. Okay, I don't remember how this is supposed to work. Is this its set named registry value? This might be it. Yeah, there it is. Okay, well, I'm not gonna worry about this right now. I just want to get something quickly working. Why did it have to be a meta table? So I could do an index, and what did the index do? Oh, it's to look up, it's to make it look like an object. So the whole module, I don't think that this is applicable for the whole module. The whole module should just allow me to create parsers, right? And with it, it should just try to faithfully reproduce the API of the library. Yeah, so then it's a lot easier, right? I would just create a function called parser, because that's what the interface of the parser is. It is a parser, and it's the parser. This should return a table with a meta table attached. And we ought to create the meta table in advance and store it somewhere, right? I guess we'd have to create it here somewhere, but there's no context, right? Like there's no global context to this. So would I have to put it in that table? So this is for free functions then, because all we get is the Lua interpreter. And whatever arguments we were given, right? Okay, so if I want some globals, if I want to, I know this should have a side effect of creating the meta table for the parser, right? Is that bad form though? I should just look that up. Lua module meta table or registry. Are keys set in the registry of a temporary state that's accessed in a module adopted in the registry of the calling state? Is the key foo in the registry in the state adopted in the registry? If you want, write this in a Lua file. Foo equals require foo. Well, that didn't help. Time to ask ChatGPT. Too bad you guys can't see this, but I don't want to leak my personal info. So, can a Lua module store items in the registry, in the Lua registry? Yes, a Lua module can store items in the Lua registry. The Lua registry is a special table in the Lua state that allows you to associate arbitrary values with unique integer keys. It's often used to store references to Lua objects that need to be accessed across different parts of the system. Store item in the Lua registry, use Lua lref, which assigns a unique integer key to the value on the top of the stack and moves from the stack. Okay. So apparently it's okay for a module to store items in the registry. Keep in mind that you'll need to have a Lua state L available in your module for these functions to work. It usually means that your module needs to be used within a Lua environment where a Lua state is active. Is it considered good practice for Lua modules to store things in the registry? Using the Lua registry is a powerful tool, but like any powerful tool, should be used judiciously with care. Here are some considerations to keep in mind when deducing whether to use the Lua registry in the Lua module. Avoid overuse. Blah, blah, blah. Avoiding global state. Avoiding overlapping references. So you should have a clear convention for registry usage. Clear registry entries is no longer needed. Consider alternative solutions. Using closures or tables to encapsulate data and behavior may be a cleaner solution. Okay, so I could have like a function that is a factory function for a parser. That would be a better way, right? And I could stash. Thing is, how do I stash? Can I stash things in the table that can I stash the meta table in the modules table so that I can get back to it again? some cases there may be alternative approaches to achieve. Okay, so let me ask ChatGPT. What's the best way to, in a Lua module, to keep private data such as metatables? In Lua, there are several techniques you can use to keep data private within a module. Here are a few common approaches. Encapsulation with local variables. So you can have, well, this is in a Lua module. You can have private data. In this approach, private data and private function are only visible within the module file. They cannot be accessed directly from outside the module. Okay, if you declare something with the local keyword, metatables, you can create a metatable and assign it to a table containing your private data. This metatable can include functions of data that you want to keep private. Sure, but that's still just attaching a metatable to private data. Okay, how is that done in a C, a Lua module written in C? Okay. So they say in a Lua module written in C, you could achieve the encapsulation of private data using user data metatables. So you create a user data object for your private data, and then so it's like create a structure, and it's a user data structure, and you set a metatable on the user data. Metatables. Okay, loading the module in your script, you load the C module. Okay, so what they do is in the module, they make a metatable and they attach it. Okay, so they just make the module have a metatable. So here's what they did. I'll just copy and paste it so you guys can see it. Yeah, so actually it translated to C, it detected it was C. So we do the same thing in Rust, right? So we could we have our function and we have some methods, and we would make a new metatable. We'd this is just making a copy of the metatable on the stack, setting an index. Oh, that uses that, right? So it sets the index field on the metatable. And then there's a library thing to set these functions, I guess, into the metatable. And then make a new table L, a function new my object, which is, I guess, declared elsewhere, and call it new. I don't see how they associate the metatable with, what's this new my object? Is that, did they give me the code for that? I just didn't see it. Oh, yeah. Okay, they had it in another step. So that was up here, step 1. So they're my new data. Okay, so there's a library function, set metatable. I guess this one uses the registry, right? L new metatable. Because I had that in here. Yeah, that's the same thing, right? The library new metatable, which uses the registry. Okay, so there, um, the ChatGPT is recommending the same approach. When they say to when it says to create a new metatable, it's using like a namespace kind of thing where we put our module name in front of the word metatable. So it's by convention, our module gets a metatable, right? So that when we attach a new function to the table we return, and that function recovers the metatable and assigns it to the like basically making an instance of this structure with this attached function on it. It's the this set metatable matches up with a new metatable through the Lua registry. And that's what I was doing too, by making a host metatable. And I ended up just I think I just with this thing I just set the table, its metatable on itself, and then made it a global variable. So instead we're going to return it to the module loader. Okay, but I need to go take a break. Actually, I need to go sleep and attack this tomorrow morning. So I think what I'll do is I'll keep this around just in memory because I'm just stopping the virtual machine. I'll start it up again tomorrow. And I'm just wondering if I should have a convention where like this is not a function, but it's a class object that has a new function on it. That way the table can just return multiple class objects, a parser and an ingestion library, right? Hold on, but the ingestion library really doesn't have any state in it. This thing, right? Oh, actually, I guess it does. It does, right? It does mutate the self. What does it actually do to self? It embeds itself in the, it puts itself into the context, really. This API, right? The data we get back out doesn't have that API in it, so there's actually no reason to make that mutable. Does that need to be mutable? It only does because this needed it to be mutable. Does that really need to be mutable? It's a ref cell. Why does that need to be mutable? Oh, because otherwise, well, what are we gonna call on it? Let me see what I call on it. This API. How do we use this? Final references. Oh, it's to call the callbacks. I think, right? Yeah, the error callback and also the on part callback. Because they're closures that are allowed to be mutated. Just for convenience, right? Okay. Yeah, so the idea I had was that you could make a parser and then you could attach just a func you can attach a callback through Lua just by assigning a property on it, which would match this with callback thing. Yeah. This is gonna go a little bit slow until I get to refresh my memory on how Lua works. I should probably just make my own version of this So this is the Lua like convenience library. It's really just this is a shorthand for all of this. So we have access to this through mlua. So I could, unless mlua provides an equivalent to this, I have to do this part to make a meta table, which is what they recommend that I do at the very beginning of my module. I need to make a meta table, create an index for it. And if I remember right, that's so that it's its own index. So I forget why we had to do that. Yeah, I gotta refresh my memory on some of these Lua topics, but this was important for some reason. It had to do with it had to do with the meta table like working working correctly. And this is a convenience function, right? The set funcs that I think I'm just going and doing manually when I do this stuff down here. These are setting the different functions, right? So you push a string, you push a C function set table. And these are just, each group of 3 is attaching another function to the meta table. Yeah, see, I do that index thing here. But that's because I had an index function. There was something to do with like setting the index to the table itself. And I forget what it is. I think I remember what it was. It makes it so that you can't like add things to the table or change things. When the index is set on itself, then like it doesn't allow you to modify it. Something like that. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go get some sleep. Let's see who to raid. Who to raid? Let's raid Adam. Good old Adam. Yep, we got at least 12 people willing to watch Adam. That's great. Yep. Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed me struggling with learning how to do the Louis stuff. I'll make more progress tomorrow morning. So see you later in maybe 10 hours from now. Bye-bye.